evening, everybody. How you doing? This is your favorite Ruby girl, Dr. K, in the house. It's time for another Ruby girl chat. And as always, I'm so excited because I love sitting down, talking to my guests, hearing their stories, and they motivate me so much. And I got the master motivator, the success strategist, Dr. Anissa Short. How are you? I think she froze up on me.
Hey,
There
Dr.
she
K.
go.
Hey, Dr. K. Listen, I apologize, technical difficulties, but I am doing fantastic. Everything is well, and I thank you for another opportunity to hang out with you in this space.
No problem whatsoever. So, Dr. Anissa, before we get started, I want you to be able to share your interview with your people. So, if you go on my page, find this video, and while you do that, I'll give them a commercial that's unforgettable. I'll even try to put some dancing in it for y'all,
All right
tonight.
now.
We're going to spice it up tonight. So, so once again, if you're new to my platform, Ruby Girl comes from Proverbs 31 and 10. Who can find a virtuous woman for her price is far above the price of a ruby. So, ladies, this special is for you. And put the dance moves. It's just for you. It makes you rare, virtuous, and as always, you are so valuable to the Lord. And so you can go to rubygirl.net. You can get you a t-shirt and you can rock the Ruby Girl brand. Let people know that you are an official Ruby Girl. Get you an ebook while you're there. Get some books. Do some shopping while you're there, okay? So support the Ruby Girl brand by going to rubygirl.net. And you can book for my show on that website. Also, I would love to sit down with you and have a chat with you and give you the opportunity to share your business and share your stories. You don't always have to wait for me to personally invite you. I'm always looking for guests, always looking. Get it always. So anyway, let's get into this interview tonight with Dr. Anissa Short. She is a familiar face to the Ruby Girl Talk, and I'm so glad that she's always willing to come back because she's always doing something new. And trust me, she's a person that you want to follow. She's a person that you want to make sure you keep track of. So Dr. Anissa, could you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Hey, everybody. Great Tuesday evening. I am Dr. Anissa Short, the success strategist and director of the Chosen Pen Group. I am an author. I am a speaker. I am a hybrid publishing director. I am your friend, your neighbor, the girl next door. That's who I am. And I love being on this platform and any opportunity to pour into others to serve as a source of inspiration or a voice of hope. That's where I'll be.
She is so good with her introduction. They always are totally flawless, and I love it. And what you just taught us right then is one key to success. To be able to introduce yourself, to be able to give that good strong, as they say, elevator pitch. Because if you don't know how to confidently talk about yourself or your business, then people not gonna have that assurance that
Yeah.
this is somebody I want to do business with. So she gave us tip number one on the introduction. Make sure your introduction is tight when you're introducing your business. So hey, you already know we about to rock it tonight because she's already in full gear, y'all. So she's known as the success strategist. Let me make sure I say it right. So, from your experience as an author, a speaker, and an entrepreneur, how have you been successful in all three roles? Some people are successful author or maybe a speaker, but you done checked every single box. How have you done it?
It's an evolution, Dr. K, honestly. I think I was a speaker before I was an author. And so a lot of times people think of speakers as the people that they see at the podium or who take on a subject title, maybe like a minister or something of that nature. But prior to even writing my first book in the various capacities for which I served, I trained. So that platform, while working with the federal government, I trained new hires. I was a mentor. I facilitated workshops and things of that nature. So that was speaking. My speaking aptitude for speaking, me being comfortable with speaking in front of people, really was groomed or developed during that window of time. And then, of course, later, as a result of going to networking events, I've never been shy to introduce myself or the whole conversation. That's just been me. My mom says we get that from my daddy, but whatever. It's been a gift. And then I made a decision to write a book. And so, in writing the book, the publishing the book, the purpose was to support the people in the community for which I represented or I worked with, which were home based business owners. And then that led to me being invited to come to networking events to speak. So I never felt apprehensive about saying yes to those opportunities because I had the experience of speaking in front of people prior to. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then that evolved into me working with others to help them with understanding the significance of their voice in writing their signature books. And then, of course, when I'm working with my clients, publishing clients, it's inevitable. Some of them already have either speaking platforms or the speaking platforms are birthed as a result of them writing the book. So it kind of goes hand in hand. And that's where my being a success strategist comes about because I'm coaching them through their process and helping them to see the significance of that and helping them with the tools that they need to build a foundation for that platform.
That's good. That's a good journey because a author, speaker, and a business owner is a lot of roles to carry at one time, and a
Yeah,
lot of times, people talk about chasing the rabbits, but usually when you're an entrepreneur, you're pretty good at multitasking. And like you said, you started speaking, then you
right,
wrote a book. So it's like we learn to master one thing
right,
and then you go on to the next thing and you master it and then you go on to the next thing. And so then you turn around and you done try mastered. There we go. You done try mastered something. That's our new word, try mastering something. And it's a good word too, try mastering something. Because a lot of times we have our hand in so many things that we
right.
okay at stuff, but God calls us to a spirit of excellence and a high standard. So
That's true.
sometimes you have to work on something one thing at a time. So since we're talking about threes, give us three things that keep you from detouring on the road to success. Because we know there's a lot of distractions and shiny objects.
Well, one is that to eliminate distractions.
Mm,
It hasn't always been pretty, but it's been real. And I think a lot of times, what I know for a fact that a lot of times what happens is rather than us, if we're not careful, instead of us working within our giftings, we try to take on things that we see other people doing because they seem to be great at it or they see that as a lucrative opportunity. And that may not be your cup of tea. That may not be the direction that you're supposed to go. I believe when you work within the gifts that you've been given, it doesn't feel like work. I mentioned that I've been training and teaching and mentoring people. I've been doing that for years. It's not a hard task for me. It comes easy because it's a gifting. First, my gifts are teaching and encouragement. And that's what you need in a mentor or coach to be able to teach you and to encourage you. So I've been doing that. So for me to do what I'm doing now is not a hard task. But and even though I'm gifted to do this, I still have to make sure I eliminate distractions and not become deterred by things. Don't major in the minor. Get rid of the good for the great. So there are a lot of things I at one time was very engaged in, which were good things, but they didn't serve me well in this space where I should have been fully operating in. So I had to let some things go. So that's number one. Number two is you need a mentor. You definitely need a mentor, and your mentor needs to be someone that has proven to be successful in the capacity for which you want you respect, and then in your industry. So if your industry is childcare, you need to talk to a childcare professional, someone who's built a successful childcare business with the level of integrity that you can respect and you glean from them. Your mom may have been great in raising her 12 children, but has she operated a childcare facility? So you need to be mindful of that. So you need a mentor. So that's the third thing I recommend always. And then is never stop learning, number three. Even though
okay.
I feel like I'm comfortable in what I do, I'm always open to learning more. I call Dr. K and like, girl, show me some AI stuff, because I don't I know I could pick it up and read it for myself, but she's doing the doggone thing. So let me just call her. So always be open. School is never out for the professional. You think about your dentist and your doctors. You don't want a doctor that says he's never been to any kind of medical training or subsequent medical training in over 30 years. You want him to stay abreast of what's new and what has evolved over the years to a better understand and to be better at his craft. So that's what we have to do as well. So yeah, so number one, alleviate distractions. Number two, have a mentor. Number three, never stop learning.
Okay, distractions, have a mentor, and never stop learning. Those are very good tips, and I think they're just life tips in
Yeah,
general.
it
You
really
should,
is.
but you're right. Sometimes we think we arrive when it comes to learning, but we never arrive. We're
Yeah.
always, just learning. Like I remember when I was in college, once I was out, I was like, I'm done with learning. I'm through. But because I was like, I got my degree, what else do I
Right.
need? But and I'm a person that had to learn. You have to keep learning. You can't just
Absolutely.
just stop because things evolve, things change. I mean,
Right.
I could still be watching TV like we did in the 1988 because I made somebody laugh. I said, "Yeah, I brought a colored TV," and they bust out laughing. I was like, "Wait a minute, all TVs are colored TVs now."
Now, once upon a time they weren't.
Yeah,
Right.
right. So we used to have to say colored TV because believe it or not, TVs work. They came in black and white. You had black and white or color.
Yep.
And so you have to evolve because if you don't, you will get left behind and you will
Exactly.
become irrelevant. And you
You
always
will.
want to be relevant because time is moving fast, y'all. Like I'm
Exactly.
like, how did I land at 55? I was just
Mhm.
20. I was just 18,
Just
graduating out of
graduating
high
college
school.
just a few days
Yes.
ago, right?
Yes. Right. And I'm like, and you look in the mirror and you realize that I wasted a lot of time.
Hmm.
And then you start to think, how can I make my time
Make
I
it,
got
yep,
left
redeem the
to be
time. Right.
very
Right.
valuable? But something else I want to add too. We as business owners also, we will pivot, we'll change too quickly because
Hmm.
something's not working when you can have a good product, but it just take time for it to work. I was on a call today and this guy he was talking about something about marketing. He said, I'm gonna tell you right now for the first 2 months, it's not gonna look like it's working. I'm already telling you. He said,
Yeah.
but you gotta be
Yep.
consistent in stuff and then it'll start working. So
Have you
thank
heard
you.
have you heard the principle of 1,000 hours? Have you heard that principle?
No, tell us about it.
1,000 hours. A mentor of mine mentioned that, and I was like, 1,000 hours. And she was like, until you have consistently dedicated 1,000 hours to your business or to your craft, will you begin to really start to see exponential growth. And the problem is that the consistency is the key, right?
Uh-huh.
So if you committed 100, 50 hours a week to do whatever,
Hmm.
then you've got to, if you said 10 hours a day or 5 hours a week or whatever that number is, of course, the more time you give, the quicker you'll get through the 1,000 hours. But you can't do 50 hours this week and then do nothing for the next 3 weeks because you were so busy doing 50 hours. It has to be 1,000 consistent hours. I believe I'm saying it right. And when she said it, it made me think, well, if I'm only committing 5 hours a week to my business,
Yeah.
I cannot expect to get the same results as someone else that's given 40 hours a week to their business. And
Hmm.
if 1,000 hours is the magic number, then the person that's given 40 hours is going to hit exponential growth much sooner than I have. Then we may look and say, well, she's had her business for 5 years and I have too, but she's doing so much better, so much more. She's getting greater results. But how many hours did she commit within that year? You know what I mean? How consistent was she in that window of time? But yeah, 1,000 hours. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up while we got it. So yeah, 1,000 hours is key. That's the
Oh,
magic number.
it's 40 hours. 41. 41 days. I was looking it up.
Yeah. You
It's
looked up the
40.
1,000 hours.
It's 41 days. See, we
Yep.
think alike.
Right.
41 days. So you need to give at least 41 days to whatever you do.
Hmm.
And you know what? I totally agree with you. Sometimes people will be very excited about what you're doing when you first launch it and stuff,
Hmm.
and then it'll just go dry. It'll just go
Hmm.
dead, and then you trying to figure out, okay, well, maybe I don't need to do that, but we if God told you to do it, you have to do it regardless of
Hmm.
the applause, regardless of
Hmm.
how many people in the audience. And I love to tell this story about Terry Fader. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
So Terry Fader, he's a ventriloquist, but it's like you nothing. He can imitate anybody's voice, Michael Jackson, all that. He's really, really good. So he ended up winning America's Got Talent. And so when I went to Vegas that year, he was everywhere on billboards, taxis, everywhere. Now, this is a man nobody had knew about. So I got his
Mhm.
book. You know what he said in this book? He said, I had been preparing for years for success. He said,
Wow.
I if I had two people in the audience, he said I would perform like I had a whole like 1 million people there. So he said when it was time for their final act, he said
Hmm.
all the other artists was like, "Oh my God, what I'm gonna do? I finally made it here. I don't know what's my final act." He said he made a phone call to his wife, said, "Get these two dummies. I'm ready." And that's how he won. Because he said I had been preparing,
Practicing. Yep. You've been
yes, for
committed
years.
consistently. That's the key. Yep.
Consistently.
That's the
Yeah.
key. Here's the thing: the 1,000 hour rule is not scientific necessarily. Okay, but this is what it says. It says it's the amount of time that has been designated as the time necessary for one to become proficient.
Hmm.
1,000 hours. So if you've given 1,000 hours to a skill set, like the gentleman said, with regards to being prepared, right, for the big
Yes.
stage, if you've given 1,000 hours to learning a skill set, 1,000 hours to building a business, you become more proficient within that 1,000 hours. Now, it might be, as I said before, your 1,000 hours might need to be broken up into 5 hours a week, depending on whether you work a full time job and have other roles. But nevertheless, it's the consistency of building to create proficiency. So, yeah, so give it 1,000 hours. Consistent now, not 5 hours today and no hours next week. And then, another
Yeah.
week go by, you do two, and then,
You gotta be in this thing. And that's what
yeah,
that book taught me was that you have to see yourself where you want to be and then you
exactly.
go back in time. It's like you time travel to your
Yeah,
moment of
yeah, yeah,
success
yeah,
and then
yeah.
you come back and say, what do I need to do to get there? But a lot of times we want to get there.
One of my mentors used to say this when she taught us on goal setting. She would say, if she asked you, Dr. K, what's your goal? And you said, my goal is XYZ123. She says, it's already done. Now work out the details.
Mm,
And I will
that's
go, hmm? She says, it's already done. If that's the goal you said, like you said, time travel, you see what it is you want to accomplish, and then you come back and you put the pieces together. She says, you have to work from a standpoint, as you saying mentally, that it's already done. I'm just working out the details. I'm
mhm.
working out the details. I used to think that was so weird, but I understand it now.
Yeah, I remember my pastor preached this sermon, one of my pastors, only sermon I remember his. Uh, if you don't see it before you see it, what did he say? If you don't see it before you see it, you will never see it.
Yeah,
And I
right.
used to be like, what is he talking about?
Yeah,
This is before, social media came
yeah,
out, this
right, right, right.
motivation. And so you kind of hear it all the time. Like what she just
Hmm.
told you
Yeah,
was basically is that you need to see it before you experience it, you
yep.
know.
You got to
Yeah.
see it. Yeah,
And and I think that's where the millionaires and billionaires have
the
that the
mindset.
non-millionaires and non-billionaires
It's the
don't.
mindset,
That
right? It's the
mindset. People
mindset.
think it's a skill set, but if you I like to think about lottery winners. So mostly when people win lottery, they blow that money because they don't understand those that take a lump sum. That's it. That's all you
Yeah,
got. And so one guy has said, never take the lump sum. Let them pay you. You'll always forever have some money
have a check coming
coming,
in.
coming.
Right, right, right,
But
right.
if you're not good with money, you think that lump sum would never disappear, but you forget you raise your standard of spending too.
Exactly. Right.
You wasn't spending $1 million on a car because you didn't have it, but now you have it.
Yeah.
So we have to just, like you said, we have to plan out things. We have to see things. We have to be prepared for it
Right.
because people be like, oh, if I had $1 million, I'd do this. But then when you get the opportunity and
You're gonna do
somebody
the
said,
same
what
thing
would
you're
you
doing it.
do? And
Right.
you be like, I just need it. That's all I know. But what you need it for?
I'm gonna buy a house and a car, and then after that, that's it. They ain't talked about investing. They hadn't talked about giving. They hadn't talked about supporting causes. None of that comes to mind. It's a mindset.
Doubling it?
Yeah, right.
You know?
Invest it in so you can double it and triple it, put it in trust and all that kind of stuff. No.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So we got one more question before we break. So you and I teamed up to bring an
Yes.
AI class. Y'all,
Yes, I'm so
woo,
excited. I
I'm
am so
excited
excited.
too. And so we're going to help authors, entrepreneurs, even entrepreneurs get on the room in the room on October
Yes,
the 24th. Since
yes.
you are a visionary, you see things. How do you see AI changing the game of success?
One thing is going to do is take away the excuses that I hear
Mm,
often. So
mm,
let me speak from the publishing space. Okay, so or even just as a professional period, one of the things that an author or business owner, what a nonprofit ministry leader needs is a professional headshot. Nobody ever we take more pictures and selfies, but we don't have a professional headshot. When it comes to asking for a professional headshot for the back of the book, for the flyer, they don't have it. When you learn to use AI, you will never be without excuse to have a professional headshot. So it takes away that, right? If you're not proficient or gifted, some of us are gifted to make flyers. I can make a flyer if I sit down and do it, aesthetically, that'll look halfway decent.
mhm.
But everybody's not gifted in that respect. And sometimes they say, well, I would if I could, but I don't have the money to pay anybody. Well, guess what? AI takes all of that away from you as well. You need marketing material to promote that book or that business or that product or that event. You are without excuse because AI can help you with that too, And so I want to make sure, and that was my main motivation, honestly, Dr. K, for us hosting this event is because those are just simple things, but that's something that's universal that everyone needs. You have one of my friends is her husband is a pastor, and she said they were getting ready to host a conference. I think it was a men's retreat or a men's conference or something of that nature. And so the speakers, she needed to put their faces on the flyer, and nobody had pictures. She's like, I don't have a photo that looks like anything to be able to put, I couldn't use them. They weren't. And so she made a decision to host a photo shoot and for the
Mhm,
pastors to
mhm,
come and for anybody to come to get professional shots done. So I had my husband to go get. I said, you don't never know. You might need them. Better to have them and
mhm.
not need them, need them, not have them. So there's so many things that I believe that we don't plan for properly that we need to have in place. And what we're going to do is talk about how you can use AI to promote your book or your brand. And so those are simple things. Your marketing material. Honestly, I hate to say this, but I'm gonna say it.
Oh,
If
say
your
it.
flyer has typos or it doesn't look professional, I'm not going to the event.
Hmm.
I'm just not. Because I not because I don't think it's a good event. It's I've lost interest already because what you've communicated to me through what you chose to put out there does not look polished and professional. If you didn't think enough to make sure that your marketing material were free of typos and the clear and visible, then what does that tell me about the level of excellence you're going to put in the event? It all goes hands in hand. So I want people to be better prepared. And so that's one of the things I convey even when working with my clients is that we're going to do everything from a place of excellence. Your book covers are going to be great. We want your picture on the back to be great. If you don't have a great picture, send me a very clear um headshot, a selfie in good lighting. And if you give me permission, I'm gonna jazz you up using AI. Because I want you to represent, I want you to put your best face forward. So yeah. So that's what I believe AI is going to do for everyone in the entrepreneurial space. If you are, you know, or ministry space or even, nonprofit space, public servants, everyone needs a professional photo. They need to have professional um, materials to convey their message, their brand, their book, their efforts, their events, their initiatives. So yeah, that's why everybody so, should scan the QR code and get reserve a seat. Now we're not going to have a lot of people, Dr. K. We need to let them know that we're only
Oh,
going to have
yeah.
so many because we want this to be intimate and we want people to be able to ask questions. And while we would love to have 100 people participating, we don't want to have 100 people participating and you can't ask a question because we don't have enough time. So we're
Yes.
going to keep it intimate. So I wouldn't hee haw around and wait. I will go ahead and reserve my space today.
Yes, most definitely. And if y'all notice, if y'all looking at this flyer, that picture of me, that's AI. I know y'all know the hair, but still, it's still it is a picture of me that I took and I jazzed it up with AI. Put on some new clothes, put on a different shirt. Even the earrings are different and everything. So it just shows you how AI, like you say, is a game changer. Even
It's a
if you,
game changer.
like you say, writing a book, it helps you write a book. There's no more, oh, I don't know what to write next. It takes away that, what you call it when you get stuck writing.
The block, the mental block, it takes away
Yes.
all of that, right? I'm working with a client right now, and so she has a lot that she wants to put in her book because she's writing a memoir. But she says, Anissa, I'm just getting kind of scrambled when it comes to my thoughts. I don't know how to put them together. So I talked with her about creating an outline first. And I told her, let's go ahead and put out, list the things that you want to discuss in your book and just make them as bullet points. We
Mhm.
took that content and asked AI to help us create an outline,
Mhm.
and those became her chapters. And then we're taking it one chapter at a time because I'm her ghostwriter, and we're having conversation. And while I'm on Zoom with her, I've got AI working to help me take the notes. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? For the
Yeah.
conversation that we're having, I'm asking her questions. She's answering the questions. We're going through this. Now, at the end of the meeting, I've got copious notes now that I can convert into her manuscript.
There you go. There you go. Oh, you girl, you done got good on
Listen,
that.
listen. I hang around Dr. K. I don't know what y'all talking about. So we got the first four chapters written, and she's like, "This is so easy." I said, "I'm doing this with you." But that take and now that I would have done that anyway, but I would have just handwriting, trying to write down, putting stars, piece of paper. I'm still
Mhm.
taking, manual notes and typing things out, but AI is helping me to capture those things that I might would have missed because in the course of
Yes.
talking there are points that you don't grasp, and it takes it, and at the end of the meeting it sends me an email and gives me a summary of everything we discussed so I can get the manuscript written.
All right,
Yep.
I'm impressed. Look, and so if y'all are y'all are looking at this flyer, please scan the QR code so that you can register. It is going to be a very limited amount of people in this room. When I say get, I always say get in the room with Coach
Right.
K. Make sure you get in the room with me. I'm going to have some new things I'm going to be talking about. And then one thing that AI is definitely going to change. People talk about a lack of content. I personally never had a lack of content because I'm like, like a wolf. I know how to go out and get something and bring it
And bring
back
it back.
back
Right.
to the little wolfies. So I always knew how to go out and get my content, but a lot of people are not. And let's be honest,
Right.
a lot of people are lazy when it comes to social media. They might say, I'm scared, I'm this or that. But now AI, you can create your own content.
Oh,
And I
I love
remember when
it.
I started first using AI and I was changing my pictures and people be like, we don't, is that you or whatever, and it made them curious. It made people inbox me. It brought a lot of attention to my social media. So even
Right.
now, you will get a lot of attention, and Facebook actually loves it. I'm quite
Yes.
sure Instagram loves it too because it's a lot of AI that's coming across my
Yes.
feed.
Yes.
Videos, everything. Like you say, it's no excuse. You can't say, well, I don't have money for this or that. It's a lot of things you can do. You can
A
make
free.
videos, a lot of
Right.
stuff, a free headshot.
Oh,
You
girl,
ain't got to do
listen.
your makeup. You ain't got to do your hair dry, put on your clothes, all that stuff. You can
It's
just sit there and boom, and you looking
copy and
gorgeous.
paste. Listen,
Girl.
listen, Dr. K and I just sidebar, you guys. She was we were talking about planning this event, and then I saw something on her social media page, and I asked her a question, and then she sent me an image, and I was like, "Oh, make me one," because I don't mind asking. And then I remembered I was in a workshop in July, and they told me about this particular platform. Let me go ahead and start playing. And next thing I know, I'm making all kinds of images of myself, and thankfully so, because my graphic designer was like, Anissa, you need some new pictures, you need to go get a photo shoot done immediately. And so I've been saying I'm gonna schedule it, and then I moved and I said, well, I'm gonna find a photographer here. But after doing all this playing around with AI, I sent her these pictures and she was like, oh, I love your photo shoot. I was like, I'm so exhausted from all these uh, from the hair and makeup changes and the clothes changes. I mean, it was like, girl, let me just see. I sent her about 10 shots. I said, save these in my folder. We can pull anytime you want, whichever one based on whichever. So
It's such a wonderful tool. It's a lot of people that's still scared of it. A lot of people
Mhm.
that have their biases against it. But you
Right.
know what, Dr. Nissa, it has been a blessing for me to
Yeah, I
use
could
it.
believe that.
It really has, and it's what I have been praying for. And I know
Right.
I told y'all before, I've been praying. I said, God, this is what I like to do. This is that,
Mhm.
and AI is just it. And I'm so glad now that more church people, because first thing we do in technology,
Mhm.
we think it's the end of the world, that it's gonna lead to the end of the world and
And it
stuff.
is, the end of
You
the world
know,
is inevitable, but it ain't because of AI by itself. You know what I'm saying? I
it's
mean,
a
it just,
lot.
I mean, but
Let's.
just think about this. Once upon a time, I guess my grandmother, yeah, my grandmother ironed clothes, and she it created a fire in the wood stove, and then she put the iron on the wood stove for it to heat up
Mhm.
in order to iron her clothes.
Mhm.
Then years later, we had the iron that you could plug up. So you don't
Mhm.
need the wood stove anymore, right?
Mhm.
Then years later, they came out with a steamer. So you
Mhm.
don't even have to have the, you know what I'm saying? You got all these different variations. What if now in 2025 I said, I just don't trust that steamer and that electricity. I'm just going to keep using this iron. I don't even know if I could buy a wood burning stove now. Where would I even begin to, you know what I'm saying? So things evolve. I think
Yes.
with anything that we use, like when social media first came out, people were a lot of, especially a lot of church folk, I'm just gonna say it. They talked about it like it was straight from Satan until COVID hit. Now everybody was trying to be on Facebook to keep their members connected to them, because if they didn't have a live or streaming service, they were going to other churches getting the streaming service. And because they were not prepared for it, they looked a hot mess on social media trying to stream. Now, can I just be real? They weren't prepared because
Yeah.
they demonized it for the longest time. Now they're having to use it and they don't even know how to begin to use it properly. But for those who embraced it, they just shifted and kept going. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
They shifted and kept going. I know a gentleman right now who started his ministry virtually, and
Mhm.
then when they finally, once COVID was over and they decided they wanted to start a physical building, they had people coming to them because they've been following them online from the streaming service. So anyway, it just it's all in what you do with it. It's a tool to be used. There's good and bad in both options. But if we work from a place of integrity and make
Yes.
sure we represent who we say we representing, I don't think we go wrong. I really don't.
You know what? I 100% agree with you. But it's time for a break. We're a little late on our break because we're having such a great time. So, Dr. Nissa, I'm going to give you 1 minute and then I'm going to go out there on Facebook and see who's been commenting and who's been
Okay.
watching. Okay.
All right, so I've got a minute to share with you all, I guess, a little bit about me and what I'm doing. So, first and foremost, as you already know, I'm Dr. And this is short. Every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, I host a podcast called Conversations with Chosen Pen. And during this month of October is National Book Month. So, I am featuring an author each week. My first was tonight. I have another one on the 14th, and then the 21st and the 28th. All of the people that I'm interviewing are authors, and we are tying their books to a specific purpose or cause. So, for example, my guest next week is a domestic abuse survivor, and her book is her bio, her memoir. And because we're commemorating this being Domestic Abuse Awareness Month, we're tying the two together. So join me on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, Conversations with Chosen Pen, where I'm featuring authors, entrepreneurs, and speakers. I'm amplifying the voices of authors, entrepreneurs, and speakers. And other than that, you can always find me on chosenpengroup.com. That's my website. You can find me there, learn more about who we are as Chosen Pen Group, and connect with us. If you want more information about our publishing services, coaching, or more information about our Books and Bridges platform, find us there, chosenpengroup.com.
Amen. All right. I went out there and looked. I think everybody's into our conversation. We got people watching. We got at least 30 people watching.
Oh,
No,
wonderful.
yeah, no comments though. You know how you be into something and you
Yeah.
just, oh, you don't want to write, But we thank you for watching, everybody that's out there. But that's okay because that keeps us on track because we're on the second part of the show. And so I'm excited about this part, right, y'all? Because I've never just experienced what we're going to talk about. So let's dive into it. And that was a wonderful 1 minute. And you did give me your contact information, right?
chosenpengroup.com.
All right, girl. All right. So, Dr. Anissa, I think it's time for breaking news. You're
Okay.
going to be a part of a Guinness Book World Record. Now,
Oh,
you tell
yes.
us about this connection. Just spill the tea.
Okay, so first, in order for me to give you detail, I must say,
Mhm.
Mr. Cyrus Webb, who is an Amazon influencer, he's a radio personality. He is an author himself. He is the one that will be working towards breaking this record of 50 plus interviews within a 12-hour window. There will be a Guinness Book World Record. I think the record, I don't think, I know the record right now, I think is either 42 or 43 interviews, and it was completed in the country of Lebanon. So when he breaks this record on October the 29th, it's not only going to bring the record to the United States, but it's also going to bring the record to the state of Mississippi. So now let me tell you what's so profound about that is because when you look at education, the educational rankings and things of that nature, Mississippi is always unfortunately towards the bottom. If it's not the last, it's somewhere close. It's 47, 48. It's somewhere low. So for the state of Mississippi to break a record, again, it's be to be notarized, to receive the notary of accomplishing a Guinness Book World Record by way of Cyrus Webb. That's a plus. That gives a positive, that gives a plus to the state, period, right? But then we're bringing the record to the United States. Now, the reason I'm so excited about it, Dr. K, is because my husband and I are going to be one of the 50 plus interviews. That is only made possible because Cyrus Rail, with his graciousness, has extended it. And I'm thankful for the relationship that I established with him. I don't know, maybe 3 years now. I've not known him a long time, but I've been acquainted. I knew of him and then I became acquainted with him maybe 3 years ago. And because of the relationship, hint, 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 relationship. Because of the relationship, this door of opportunity was presented. And I went live a few days ago and I talked about how writing the one book back in 2017 has opened doors for me and what doors are waiting to be opened for you because it waiting on you to write the book first. And so if I had not written the book, published my first book in 2017, I would not have met Dr. Norma McLaughlin. And through my relationship with her, ended up meeting Cyrus Webb, and because of the relationship established with him independent of Dr. Norman, now I moved and I can drive and be a part of this fantastic event and I'm super excited about it. I really am.
I'm excited for you.
I
I
know,
am
right?
so excited. I mean, you literally are part. I mean, who? I can't even put into words. Who can say
I
put
know.
that in their
I
legacy, put that
know.
in their resume,
Right, exactly.
in their life story that they were a part of a Guinness Book of World Record. It wasn't
Right.
something crazy like eat 1,000 pies in 5 minutes and all that
I
stuff
know
like
I don't need to
that.
eat anybody's pies, but just doing what I do. I talk.
Yeah,
you know.
and
And so
she's
and how appropriate too, because my mantra in my platform is that your voice has value. And so
mm,
what Cyrus Webb has done over the years, over 20 some odd years now, is used his voice to make a difference. It started with a radio show. He was on a local radio program in the state of Mississippi once a week that grew to like 3 times a week. And now he's on the radio probably 7 days a week and sometimes multiple times in one day. That grew to a platform on Amazon. And now he has a live show on Amazon where he has an international platform where it was, stateside, 200,000 plus followers hearing him on the radio every week. Now he's Amazon Live and he's on it, I think, 5 or 6 times a week, doing interviews with authors and talking with people about their products, but also movie. Amazon is a platform for movies. So
yeah.
he has had an opportunity to interview actors and actors and actresses and producers and things of that nature, all from the state of Mississippi. And so now this is his 50th birthday year. And he says, what better way to celebrate being 50 is to break this Guinness record. And so I'm excited for him. I'm already claiming it. I said, you're going to do more than 50, and I'm going to be one of the 50 for sure.
Oh, wow. And then I wonder what made him see that record and then decide to break that record.
He shares that he's going to be sharing that, I should say, because I'm interviewing him on the day before the official day. So the 28th, the last Tuesday of this month at
Mhm.
7 p.m., I will have him as my special guest on Conversations with Chosen Pen. And that's one of the things I am definitely going to ask. He's going to share his story. He's going to share the history of how he even found himself in this place and how it evolved into being a part of this Guinness World Record opportunity. So he's excited. Many of us that are connected to him are excited. It is a labor of love. It is about supporting him. And I want to emphasize that I made reference earlier to relationships.
Mhm.
Your greatest resource are the relationships you build, you know? Because of the relationships that he's fostered, there's so many people putting in bits and pieces of themselves to assist him in creating this level of success. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there are many of us who have an opportunity, and even though people are helping him to create the success he aspires to create, he then turns around and extends opportunity for others to be a part of it. So all of this is happening because of the relationships. It really is. And so I'm excited, girl. I'm just like Guinness World Record all over myself.
It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I love the fact, like you said, he's bringing it to Mississippi. That's my home state. My born
Yeah.
state is Mississippi. And you're right, Mississippi, I can't think of anything big that it's really known for. It's a lot of negative things that
Yes,
it's
it
known
is.
for, but I'm glad that he's finally bringing something positive to the state
Exactly.
of Mississippi, because those are people that live there. They have worth and value, and it's a lot of people from Mississippi that are doing big things, and
Right.
it's just not being traced back to their
No,
roots,
it's not. Right, it's not. It
Yeah.
really isn't. I would like to also share, because if people want to watch this live, because these are going to be
Okay.
live interviews, the best platform according to Cyrus is to go through Amazon. And so he has a page. It's I'm Him Blog. IMHIMBLOG.com. If they will go there, it'll take them directly to a platform where they can watch everything live. So it's I am is in Mary, HIM. That's it. And the acronym you see, I'm him, is I'm making history in Mississippi.
I
He said
like
that was
that.
given to him in his sleep. So he's got that blog. People can go there, log in, and watch everything live, or they can even, all the details about, the authors that are going to be featured, the people that he's going to be interviewing, everything that it will be right there. Now there will be some streaming going on in social media, but you can't stream all day on social media. But since
Yeah.
this is going to be live on Amazon, they can watch everything live. And I will be finding out probably within a few days, maybe within a few days, we're going to get our roster, our list of what time our interview will be. So of course, I'll be promoting that because I want everybody to watch when I'm being interviewed. It'll be quick, so you
Yeah.
can't be late. You know what I'm saying? But we'll have our time of when we're going to be interviewed. And for those who live in that area, it's in Rankin County, right outside of Jackson, Mississippi. It's going to be in Pearl, Mississippi, I believe is where the venue is located. But
Okay.
if anybody's familiar with Jackson, they know where I'm talking about. Well, everything will be held live. So there's going to be like a studio audience there for people who want to come live. There are going to be some vendors. There's going to be media there for interviews. There is opportunity if you want to sponsor. I think as of yesterday, he had two more vendor sponsor spots, but then they're going to have a commemorative souvenir booklet. So there's opportunity for business owners to be a part of this as well. We're making history. He's making history in Mississippi, and we're just helping him do it.
Wow. So you say it's opportunities for business owners to get into his book?
Yeah, he has a souvenir booklet.
Oh,
That's going to be a commemorative souvenir booklet for this event. And so there's some sponsorship opportunities. And I'm pretty sure that same website,
okay.
imhimblog.com, provides all the details. So for those who want to be a part of the souvenir booklet, you can do that. Or if there are, I think he said there were two vendor spaces available when I talked with him yesterday. So they may be filled by now, but nevertheless, the sponsorship opportunities are there.
Okay, I'm gonna put in the chat is I say it again.
I
Uh-huh.
M
Uh-huh.
as in Mary, H as in Harry, I again, M as in Mary, blog. That's
Uh-huh.
blog.com.
So I'm himblog.com.
Yeah, that's where they can go. That was the site that you pulled up, and everything that pertains to this specific event will be there. It'll be housed there. So they should be able to find sponsorship and details as long as, we're only weeks away. So at some point in time, the opportunity to be a sponsor will close. Hopefully, that's not the case today. So I
Okay.
wouldn't delay. I will go ahead if anyone's interested in, make a move and secure their spot now.
Yeah, that's history.
It is
That's
history.
that's great for
Exactly.
a business owner to be noted as part of
Hmm.
one of the sponsors for something
Exactly.
as phenomenal as this. Because what's the opportunity as us, as our culture, let's be real, to be
Hmm.
able to participate in something like that or support
Hmm.
something like that?
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
are amazing, Dr. This. Every time you come, you're doing something
Listen,
more
listen.
amazing.
I cannot take credit for any of this. I will just say that, as I
Yeah,
said earlier, it's because of relationships. And
yeah,
when open doors open, you either say yes or no. And this particular record has not been broken in, I think, over 10 years. I think he said 10 or 11 years. So it's time. It's
yeah.
time. So he's going to break it within the state of Mississippi. It's going to be a record that's held by the United States of America. Um, in the state of Mississippi of all states, right? And so what better time than now to do it? And he's the perfect person for it. So I'm excited for him. I really am. I told him I was going to be on a podcast today. I said I'm going to talk about the event. He said, "Okay, Lisa." I said, "Absolutely."
Well, we wish him the best. Congratulations. We are so happy for him and the fact that he just made up his mind to do it. I mean,
Yeah.
if y'all are watching tonight, you should be so motivated by
Yes.
what we talked about tonight. That shows you there's no bars, there's no boundaries. I mean, it's just open land of opportunity.
That's true.
Success is just waiting to embrace you, but we have to own it. We have to know that we're worthy of it.
It's true. It's
That's the
very
thing. We
true.
self-sabotage ourselves because we don't think we're worthy to be successful. We think
Right.
you got to be born a certain way, or we think it needs to be
Or look
this,
a
you need
certain
that.
way. Right.
Yes,
Right.
it just if you believe it, just do it. And so this has inspired me so much because I already know there's some life changes coming up for me, Dr. Anissa. And when I tell you God has been pouring into me since Friday. People just randomly text
Hmm.
me. I was when I was doing my class, somebody randomly just started speaking life. And then during the class, somebody texted me. They was like, I know this random. And it's like, people just been pouring into me. So I know there's something
Yeah.
brand new coming. And to
Yeah.
hear you speak of all these accomplishments that you have done, you inspire those that are behind you. You
Yeah.
inspire those
Well,
that are
thank
walking
you.
beside you. You tell us that we can do this, there's no limits. And the
Yeah.
thing is, I think about your gift of speaking.
Thank
How
you.
you just, like your personality and just, I mean, it's so natural how you speak and everything. And it's just you, it's
Well,
just
thank
your
you.
gift and
To
you're
God be the
operating.
glory. It's a gift.
Yes. Oh
I
my
can't
God.
take any credit for it. My mom says my sister and I have the gift of gab. I said, Mom, we're conversationalists. We're not. You don't have.
So I can
Well,
imagine what she went through when y'all was young. Mom, no, I did not break that. I just rearranged that.
yeah. Don't blame me, but don't. To God be the glory. I can't take credit
Amen.
for it.
Yeah.
It's not. It comes easy for me, and that's why I know it's a gift. So I can't take credit for it. I just do my part to use it for the proper reason. You know what I mean? In the proper
Amen.
way.
Amen. Believe it or not, it's time for our closeout.
All right.
So you
Well,
got 2 minutes, and I'm gonna get over here and share the screen so we can look at your website and
okay.
check that out. We'll start with the flyer. Let me see. We'll start right here. But you can go ahead as I.
Well, as
Okay.
already shared, Dr. K and I are co-hosting an event together. I want every author and or business owner to plug in. We want to assist you. You want to be positioned in this third quarter to get the skills that you need, to get the material, the marketing materials, whatever it is, get it in place. We do not want to enter 2026 trying to figure it out. We want to have some things already figured out. So this workshop is going to be just the ticket you need to represent more excellently in the marketplace, no doubt about it. And that's what we want for you. So definitely get registered. Remember, we only have a few spots. If you have been contemplating publishing a book, I would be more than happy to assist you as a hybrid publisher. And so if you choose to reach out, just check us out on Chosen Pen Group. That's CHOSENPEN group, GROUP.com, and fill out the contact me information. My phone number and everything is there on the website. So if you don't want to fill out a form, you could call and leave a message, and we'll get back with you within 24 to 48 hours. We publish devotionals, self-help books. We do memoirs, children's books, um, inspirational fiction. And then, of course, if you just want to connect with me, Anissa Short, the Success Strategist, my website is anissashort.com. So either way, you'll be able to get with me. I would love to work with you. Um, I I'm excited about what we do. I love collaborating and creating partnerships. I am a speaker, so I am open to workshops and conferences and things of that nature. I just want to use my voice to encourage others to understand the value of their voice. That's really what it is. And all of my books can be found on Amazon. That's all I'll say with that. Everything is available. Everything is available on Amazon.
Get all these
Dr. K,
books.
this has been great as always. I so enjoy Ruby Girl. Continued success to you with this platform. You are doing a phenomenal job. Never doubt it. We see you on social media. We see and appreciate what you pour into others by way of your workshops and things of that nature. Ruby Girl is going to grow exponentially. I have no doubt in 2026. So get ready. And I want to say thank you again for allowing me to be with you tonight.
Thank you for always being a willing guest. If nobody else, I know I can count on Dr. Anissa, and you can count on
Absolutely.
me for your shop, your show also, or your podcast. Tell them once again your podcast.
Conversations with Chosen Pen. We stream live on social media. You can go to Chosen Pen Publishing on Facebook. You can find me, Dr. Anissa Short, on Facebook. It streams live on both platforms every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. All right. That's just before me. Okay. So I can go from one meeting to this to you to me. Okay.
Exactly right.
It's gonna be a busy Tuesday, but that's okay. All right, Dr. Anissa, thank you so much for being a part of the Ruby Girl Talk
Thank
Show. Thank you
you. I
for
appreciate
everybody
you.
out there that's watching. And I really appreciate those that watch the replay, that sit down and just spend an hour, 45 minutes just watching the replay. And so I just want to wish you well. We're gonna have fun in that workshop. Y'all gotta get in that workshop. You
You got
definitely
to.
do. I have some new things to show you and be learning some stuff tomorrow, and so I'm always learning AI because it's always something new. And that's what I like. You don't just get stuck on one thing. So thank you, Dr. Nissa. And congratulations on being a part of a Guinness Book World Record, girl.
I know. I'm
Your
excited.
resume, when you put this on your resume, everybody be like, what? Is this for real? So, all right, everybody, we're signing off Facebook. Be back next Tuesday. Y'all be blessed. I have a fantastic guest. I can't wait till next week, also. So, good night, Facebook.